Here we go. Good morning, everyone. David Moore, Distinguished Toastmaster, is a past area governor from the years 2014 to 2015, as well as a past division director from 2015 to 2016. Aside from those accomplishments, David is proud to be a founding member of the B. Braun Toastmasters Club, which he helped to start in 2005. At that time, David volunteered to be the first vice president of education for the club because he thought it would be one of the most important officer roles in the club, and naively believed that it would be easier than the other officer roles, such as club president. He was right about the role being important, but wrong about it being easy. Over the past 17 years, David has served at every club officer role, but has spent most of his time as vice president education. While all officer roles are important, David believes that vice president education is not only important, but the most challenging, and in the end, the most rewarding role of all. Please help me welcome David Moore.
Welcome everyone to Vice President Education. Today, I would like to teach you everything you need to know to be a successful Vice President Education. Unfortunately, in order to do that, we would be here all day. Instead, I have 50 minutes and counting. I struggled with what to put into this presentation that would be the most useful for you. And I kept coming back to the old saying, if you give a man a fish, he will eat for a day. But if you teach a man how to fish, he will eat for a lifetime. Boy, that sounds good, right? Unfortunately, nowhere in that saying does it say you only have 50 minutes to teach that person how to fish. That's not enough time. As I thought more about this problem, though, I realized if you don't have enough time to teach a person how to fish, the next best thing is to give them tools and resources that they can use to learn how to fish on their own. That's the approach I'm taking today. I'm going to give you tools and resources that you can use to learn to be a successful vice president education. This does mean, however, it will take work on your part to use these tools and resources I give you. We do not have a lot of time today, as I mentioned. Therefore, I'm asking, please hold your questions till the end of the session. We will have a question and answer period. If you think of questions as we go along, write them in the chat section just to Jerry Valenti. And he has graciously agreed to compile them and then give them to me at the ending. Can you see my screen now? John, can you raise your hand if you can? All right, good. Here is our agenda for today. I will go over the responsibilities of the club VPE, but I will spend the majority of the time talking about the resources and the tools that I mentioned. These tools will include the club officer tools, which include the club officer kit, where I will show you the officer handbook, an important tool for you. I will also show you a tool that you can use for new member orientation. Then I will show you the Learning Hub, where we will look at the Toastmasters Navigator, frequently asked questions page, and the education programs. Under the education programs, I will show you where to find the tutorials for Basecamp. Likewise, for Basecamp Manager, I will show you where to find tutorials for that. I will show you resources and tools you can use for your speech contests. And finally, I'll show you a quick and easy way to get to the Distinguished Performance Report. Starting then with the VPE responsibilities. These fall under 6 main categories: meeting quality, education program, pathways, speech contests, mentor program, and a few other responsibilities. I will go through each of these briefly. First, meeting quality, which is probably one of your most important responsibilities. This starts with assigning the meeting roles to the members and publishing this schedule regularly and well in advance. It's recommended that you assign the roles up to at least 3 meetings in advance, so your members have time to prepare. While you're assigning these roles, work with your members to help them achieve their goals, not only in Pathways, but in Toastmasters as a whole. Some of the paths require that a member perform a particular role at a meeting, such as Table Topics Master. So you want to work with the member when they're doing that project to assign them to that role. Also, some speeches are longer. They can be up to 20 minutes or more. And in that case, you need to work with that member to assign them to a meeting when you might have fewer members or fewer speakers at that meeting, depending on how long your meetings are. Remind the members of their upcoming roles. I know we should all have personal responsibility for our roles, but people get busy and they forget about what role they have at the upcoming meeting. There's a couple ways you can remind members. One, you can take on this responsibility and periodically remind your members, or you can assign this role and responsibility to the Toastmaster of the day. But work with the Toastmaster of the day before the meeting to make sure all the roles are filled, and then work with them during the meeting to be sure you have fun and productive meetings. That's what meeting quality is all about. Fun and productive meetings. You're responsible for supporting the education program, and the main part of the education program is Pathways. This all starts, though, by orienting new members to Toastmasters and Pathways. Help the new member to choose their first path. In case you didn't know, there are 3 ways to help a member choose their first path. They can simply choose the default path, which is Presentation Mastery, or they can review all 11 paths looking at the levels in the projects and pick one, or they can take the self-assessment, which will then recommend 3 paths for them. Let your members know, though, that they don't have to choose one of those 3 paths if they take that self-assessment. They can still choose any of the 11 paths. Monitor your members' progress in Pathways as well as in Toastmasters. Check in with your members to see, are they meeting their goals in Toastmasters? And then recognize achievements. We all like to be recognized when we achieve something. Some clubs will hand out ribbons, and that's terrific if your club does that. Oftentimes, though, it's just enough to recognize a member during a meeting when they have completed a level, or even more so when they complete a path. You are the main resource for questions on Pathways. Make sure you understand Pathways so that you can help your members. Track their progress in Pathways. All of your members should be working in Pathways. Keep track of how they're doing. If they seem to be struggling, work with them. You are the primary Basecamp manager, but there are 2 other officers who are also Basecamp manager, the president and the secretary. But your role is the primary Basecamp manager because you are most familiar with Pathways to start with, and then to the goals and the paths that your members are working on. As the Basecamp manager, you will receive the requests when members have completed a level. It's your responsibility then to go in as Basecamp manager, review what the member has done, make sure they've completed that level, because sometimes, especially newer members, get a little confused as to whether they've actually completed all the projects. Assuming they have, you will then approve their request. If they haven't, you need to deny that request. This is only the first step, though, in giving that member their education award in Toastmasters. The second step is you still have to go to the Toastmasters website, toastmasters.org, and on Club Central, enter in the education award. Unfortunately, Pathways still does not transfer the information over to the Toastmasters website, so you still have to do that yourself. Plan the club speech contest. This means planning, not putting on the contest all by yourself. The first step here is to find out what the district contests are for this year. And in case you didn't know, this year's contests are the International Speech Contest, which is always mandated by Toastmasters International. And the second speech, which is optional, is the Tall Tales Contest. Read the rule book. If your club puts on a club contest, you must follow all of the rules in the rule book, which means you need to understand the rules. And you will also be asked questions by your members about contests, so make sure you understand the rules. Promote the contest and ask for volunteers to help you as the functionaries, and then also contestants. Plan the contest. Note that I said if necessary. In case you didn't know this, a club does not have to hold a club contest in order to send contestants to the next level, which is the area contest. In the rulebook, it tells you it's up to each club to decide how they want to pick their contestants. But I recommend having a club contest. It's a way to have a fun meeting that's a little different than your regular meetings. It gives your members an opportunity to be functionaries in a contest, and it gives your contestants the experience of competing in a contest before they get to the area contest. Work with a contest chair to put on the contest. Don't do it all on your own. And a good way to find a contest chair is to promote the contest as an opportunity for a member to do a high performance leadership project. The High Performance Leadership Project, or HPL, is required in a number of the paths. So this is an opportunity for one member to complete their high performance leadership project and help you out by being the contest chair. Manage the mentor program. This starts by assigning a mentor for new members. In order to assign mentors, you have to have mentors. So you need to recruit members or mentors. And these are usually your more experienced members. Promote the Pathways Mentor Program. This is a good way to get your experienced members experience in being a mentor. Don't get this confused with the single project that is in level 2 of every path called Introduction to Toastmasters Mentoring. This is a whole separate program outside of the other paths. If you haven't taken this program, I recommend you go through it so then you can refer and encourage your other members to take the program. If your club does not have a mentor program, start one. One easy way to do this is using item number 1163 from the Toastmasters website. If you're not familiar with how to use these item numbers, anytime you have an item number like this 1163, simply go to toastmasters.org, and then in the upper right-hand corner, there's a search box. Type in the item number 1163. It will take you to a page where you can then download a zip file that contains the documents and information you need to help you start a mentor program. Set up an education committee to help you so you don't have to do all the work alone. You might have a mentor chair who then is responsible for running the mentor program. You could have a contest chair or even a pathways chair. A few other responsibilities. You are second in line as the presiding officer when the president is absent. Make sure you know how to run the meeting, and particularly the business portion of a meeting. This also means then understanding parliamentary procedure. Attend the executive committee meetings along with all the other officers. You are a member, along with your president, of the district council. So you need to attend the DC meetings, which happen twice a year, once in the fall and once in the spring. These meetings are important because this is where the district conducts their business, and they need a quorum of voting members. President and vice president of education are the voting members from each club. If one of you can't attend, the other one automatically gets their vote. But if neither of you attend, then your club has no vote at the business meeting. Read the leader letter that comes out monthly from Toastmasters International. It's got great information in there to help you as a club leader. And also read the district emails that come out from Founders District on a weekly basis. Finally, one of your responsibilities is attend officer training, which you are doing right now. Congratulations. I will spend the remainder of the time going over the tools and resources that I mentioned in the beginning. I tried to make this simple in how to find these tools and resources. So everything I'm going to show you starts on the Toastmasters main page or your home page, which I'm going to talk about in a moment. But for this first set of tools and resources, on the home page for Toastmasters, click on Membership. This will then show you the membership overview section where you click on Leadership Central. Under that, you'll see a large tile that says Club Officer Tools. Click on that, and it takes you to this Club Officer Tools page. I encourage you to spend time looking at each of these topics over here on the left. They will either take you to another page or they will expand and show you some subtopics. One important one is Club Central tutorials. If you're not familiar with Club Central and how to use Club Central, take a look at these tutorials. They will show you how to enter an education award, which, as I mentioned, is one of your responsibilities. First, though, I'm going to show you the Club Officer Kit. When you click on this, it expands and it shows you the Leadership Handbook, Distinguished Club Program and Club Success Plan, and here's where you can find the contest rulebook, which I mentioned you need to read. First thing is to click on the Leadership Handbook. This will take you to a page where you can download the Club Leadership Handbook. Every officer needs to do this. This is your go-to guide for your role as VPE. This will tell you about officer roles, the operations and management, district visits from your area director, distinguished club program, the education program, speech contests, and the mentor program. And you will notice these are all the responsibilities that I have already talked to you about. It really is your go-to guide. When I attended LACE training for VPE the first time, many years ago, our instructor told us, I can teach you everything you need to know to be a successful VPE with 3 words. And that caught my attention because I'm thinking, what are these 3 magic words? Get out now? No, it was too late for that. No, our instructor told us the 3 words are read the manual. I discovered he was only half right. It really takes 6 words. Read the manual and follow it. You have to do both parts. Read the Leadership Handbook and follow it. Here's a look at what is in the Leadership Handbook. It goes over the leadership roles. There's a section on governing documents, which includes your club constitution and bylaws. You need to be familiar with that. There's a section on the club within the district. Unfortunately, most Toastmasters don't know anything goes on outside of the club. As the VPE, it's your responsibility to know what's going on outside the club so you can relay that information to your members. And under this section, it covers the area, the division, and the district. Then there is a club timeline. This is an important tool to use throughout the year. It shows you each month specific deadlines. For example, here in February is the start of Talk Up Toastmasters, the membership building program. There are also important tasks for each month. And this is coded with a number. So a number 1 in front of a task means this is an item that's important to the president. 2 is important to the vice president education. 3, vice president membership. 4, vice president public relations, etc. As VPE, you are looking for any task with a 2, and you will see here in February, it says plan and publicize upcoming speech contest, which is true. You need to do that now, but there should be another item here also of put on your club speech contest. Then there's a section for each of the leadership roles. There's one here for VPE. It covers those responsibilities that I've already talked about: club scheduling, education awards, base camp manager, speech contests, and the mentor program. It also has a summary of responsibilities that you should be doing before your meeting, when you arrive at the meeting, and then during the meeting. There's a section on the Distinguished Club program, and there's a section on the education program. Read and follow the handbook. The last item under the club officer tools is here under club management. It's the new member orientation. If you click on this, it will take you to a page where you can download a PowerPoint presentation to use when you are doing a new member orientation. This PowerPoint is modifiable, and it's got actual sections where it will prompt you to put in information on the slide specifically for your club. But you can see some of the topics that are in this presentation. Your goals, meaning the new members' goals. This is your chance to talk to them about those goals. The meeting roles, pathways, mentoring, etc. Use this tool when you have a new member that you need to orient into Toastmasters. My homepage, this is something new that just started on the Toastmasters website maybe 3 months ago. If you're like me, though, you just ignored it and you continued to just click around the way you did before. I like this. I'm calling it the gateway to these resources and tools that I'm showing you. If you ever need to find your home page, when you log in, it will show your name. Hover over your name and there will be a drop down, and then click on My Home and it will take you to this page. When you scroll down, there's a big button for Learning Hub. This is all your education resources in one place. When you click on that, it takes you to this Learning Hub page. And the first thing it covers is Pathways Level 1, New and Improved. In case you're not aware of this, Level 1 in every path in Pathways changed as of October 27th, 2021. So it's been 2 years, but I mean, it's been 1 year. But if some of your members are still working in the old path, which they purchased prior to October 27th of 2021, they will still have the old Level 1. Your other members, though, who have purchased a path after October 27th, they will have the new Level 1. So it can get confusing when you're working with these members, some in the old Level 1, some in the new. A quick summary of the differences are that in the old Level 1, there were 3 projects: Icebreaker, Evaluation Feedback, Researching and Presenting. Toastmasters eliminated researching and presenting in Level 1. They still include it, but it's now an elective. Instead, in the new Level 1, the projects are Icebreaker, Writing a Speech with Purpose, Introduction to Vocal Variety and Body Language, and then Evaluation and Feedback. So it's important that you know these differences because it can get confusing. To find out more, though, maybe a better explanation than I gave you, click on this Find Out More on the Learning Hub page. Scrolling down, though, there is a large button that says View the Navigator. When you click on this, it takes you to the Toastmasters Navigator, which is a good starting point for your new members. It will give them information about Toastmasters, information on the club, the speeches and evaluations, and about pathways. But an additional resource is this Navigator PDF. I recommend that you download this PDF file and give it to your new members. It really is an essential tool for the new members to get them started in Toastmasters. It starts with a beginning in Toastmasters. It covers the meeting roles, officer roles, meeting basics, pathways, etc. Some of your experienced Toastmasters might benefit from this as well, so show them where this is also. Another good resource is, again, under the Toastmasters Navigator, under additional resources, is frequently asked questions. As the VPE, you will be asked questions, and if you already know the answer, you will look so smart. Click on this and it takes you to the frequently asked questions page. This is just the first page. There are several pages here. Some of these questions and answers you may be familiar with, but some you might not. For example, I wasn't quite clear on how to earn the Distinguished Toastmaster Award, so I went and looked at this. If you're not familiar with the Distinguished Toastmaster, it stands for DTM, we refer to it. It's the Distinguished Toastmaster. This is the highest education award in Toastmasters. And to earn the DTM, a member must complete 2 paths in Pathways, serve as a club officer for 2 6-month terms or 1 annual term, serve a complete 1-year term as a district leader. These are the area director, division director, and the other district director or district officer roles. Serve successfully as a club mentor or coach. Serve successfully as a club sponsor or conduct a speechcraft or youth leadership program. And then finally, complete the DTM project. Anyone asked you what the requirements are for DTM? They are right here. Going on down then to this other button that says education programs. When you click on that, there's some information here, but the most important and useful thing I found is if you scroll all the way to the bottom, under more information, there's a link here to the tutorial videos for Basecamp. When you click on that, it takes you to where it first shows you the 3 basic videos on Basecamp, how to get to the Basecamp homepage, accessing your path, and launching a project. But there are more tutorials by clicking on this this playlist in the upper right-hand corner. That's a link that takes you to all of the Basecamp tutorials. And currently there are 23 videos covering a wide range of topics. I recommend you go through, look at these videos, find the ones that you think are the most important, and then refer these to your members. A couple of important ones are completing a project. This is confusing to a lot of members. Even if they've worked in Pathways for a while, I find some members are still confused about this. This is a good quick video that shows them how to complete a project. Likewise with completing a level. And then as you can see, there are a number of other videos here. And here are the final 3. Take some time to go through these videos. Next,
Hey, David,
yes.
could I mention the Pathway Support Group? Well,
I'm going to hang on to that, John. I'll get to that. Just
Okay.
stick with me. We're getting there. All right. Next item is tutorials for the Basecamp Manager. Again, I don't have time to really cover this in detail. So if you click on the button that says Go to Basecamp, then scroll down to the large tab button that says Basecamp Manager. This should be more noticeable, I think, but it's right here. If you are a Basecamp manager in multiple clubs, you will have multiple tiles here for each club. Make sure you're going to the right one. This will then take you to the Basecamp Manager homepage. And here you will see the buttons that hopefully you're already a little familiar with. Pending requests is where you go to review the level completion requests. Member progress is where you can track your members' progress in Pathways. I'm going to focus though on manager tutorials. Click on that and it takes you to a page where you'll see 6 groupings of tutorials. And clicking on any one of these, it will expand so you can see each of the videos under that particular topic. If you haven't already done this, go through the Basecamp Manager overview. Even if it's been a while since you did it, I recommend you go back through this again. And then look at these other topics. Project information and resources. I haven't found this too useful, but there might be some things you'd be interested in. Level completion is important. Make sure you understand the level completion overview and then how to respond when you get those level completion requests. Path completion in printed materials. I haven't had to deal with this because none of the members in my clubs are using printed materials. But if you have a member who is using printed materials, make sure you go through these videos and then refer them here as well. Projects outside your club. If you didn't know, members can do their projects outside of your club. But there is a procedure to follow when they do this. For example, they want to do a project in one of their other Toastmasters clubs. They need to put in a request with information about what they're going to do. You would review that and then approve it. And then once they complete that project, you would have to review it again. Excuse me. And then finally, tracking progress. You can find videos here on that topic. Again, I haven't had time to cover Pathways in any detail at all, but here is a great resource for you. This afternoon at 1:10, there is a session on making Pathways work for you, presented by Kim Province and Dave Friedman, and they will answer a number of questions that I know some of you have as far as how to engage new members in Pathways, tips to make it easier to navigate, and troubleshooting members' Pathways hesitations. It's not too late to register for any of these sessions. So just go to foundersdistrict.org, look for LACE, and then register the same way you did for this session. And as John pointed out, there is another great resource coming up this afternoon at 3:20, covering the Pathways support groups. This will be put on by Susan Thompson. If you have some questions about Pathways, this is your opportunity to go here and ask your questions. But wait, there's more. This group actually meets twice a month. And so this is a good opportunity to find out about when this group meets and what's covered during this meeting. This is a good place for you to go or send your members when they have questions. Again, not too late to register. Next, I'm going to show you resources for speech contests. This starts back again on your homepage. Click on resources, and it will take you to this resources area. There's some good information here under hybrid meetings, which I don't have time to cover, but if your club is currently putting on hybrid meetings or thinking about putting hybrid meetings, go here and check this out because it will help you find problems if you're currently doing meetings or show you how you can get started. It also will have some information about the speech contests. Actually, here's where we'll click on speech contests. This is where you can find information about the hybrid speech contests, which are coming up. If you didn't know this already, the district contests this year for the first time are hybrid contests. That's at the area, the division, and the district level. This will give you good information about hybrid contests, and I recommend, if you can, hold your club contest as a hybrid contest. But I'm going to show you speech contests, frequently asked questions. This is a good resource if you have questions about all contests. But there are some good questions and answers here on hybrid contests. I've been going here finding answers to some of the questions that I have. This is just one page. There are more pages. Going back then to this main page, on the speech contest, if you scroll down, there's a section for contest resources. Here you can see there is a link for each of the different contests. And when you click on the link, it will take you to a page where you can download a zip file that contains all the documents that you need for that particular speech contest. They are slightly different for each contest, so make sure that you are going to the right link for your contest. But this zip file will include the documents that you need, such as the judge's guide and ballots, the timer's worksheet, the counter's tally sheet, participation certificates for the functionaries, and award certificates if you want to use those. Scrolling down further, though, there is a section on speech contest rulebook changes. This is important because every year Toastmasters does make some changes to the contest rules. Often they are not major, but sometimes there is a pretty important one like this year. If you click on this, it will take you to an area where it will explain the change and why Toastmasters is making that change. That's not covered in the rule book, but you can find it here. In this case, this year, there's an important change to be aware of. Up until this year, a member was eligible to compete in the International Speech Contest. This is related only to the International Speech Contest. They were eligible if they had completed 6 speech projects in the Competent Communication Manual. As of this year, you can see Toastmasters has eliminated this. So now, in order to be eligible for international speech, a member must have completed levels 1 and 2 of any path or be a distinguished Toastmaster. And it doesn't matter when you achieved your distinguished Toastmaster. It could have been under the old program or the new program. Make sure your members are aware of this, because you don't want a member showing up at the area contest only to find out they are ineligible. All right, the last thing I'm going to show is a quick and easy way to get to your distinguished performance report for your club. This is again on your home page. If you scroll to the bottom, click on Distinguished Performance Reports, and it takes you to the Distinguished Performance Report page. Here in the upper left-hand corner, under Club Search, type in your club number or your club name if you don't know the number, and click on Search. And this will now show you how your club is doing on the Distinguished Club program. Just a couple things to look at are under membership. This tells you the requirement for your club to be qualified even for the DCP award. And it tells you exactly how many members you need. In this case, this is my home club. We need 20. One thing to note is Toastmasters changed this because it was 20 members or a net growth of 5 new members. Now it's only 3 new members for net growth. But this tells you exactly what you need. We need 6. We have 16. We need 20. On the right are the goals that your club has met. In this case, our goal has met 5 of the 10 DCP goals. If we are currently at distinguished, if we get to 7, we will be select distinguished, and 9, we will be president's distinguished, which is our goal. We want to complete all 10 of the DCP goals. Below it shows you each of the goals. And as the VPE, you are mainly responsible for looking at these education goals, which are the first 6 goals. It tells you here on the right exactly how many goals you've completed and what you need to complete those goals. For example, goal number 1 is to complete 4 level 1 awards. We've completed 3, we need 1 more. Goal number 2 is 2 level 2 awards, and you can see we've already completed that, so that's checked off. And you can look and see for each of these 6 education goals how your club is doing. Here's a page with the resources. These are the ones that I've been talking about. There's a couple of additional ones here, though, that I didn't talk about. John, if you can go ahead and put the presentation into the chat area. Everyone, you're welcome to download my presentation, and then you will have this resource page as well. With that, I'm ready to open it up for questions. We have about 10 minutes or so. If you haven't already done so, please, for your questions, type them in the chat area just to Jerry Valenti, and that way he can spot them and he can bring them up to me. I'm going to stop sharing so I can see everyone.
Yes, John, this is Jerry. I'll be entertaining questions as soon as they come up over here. I wanted to share with you one thing I got out of today's keynote address. And perhaps you can share this with others in your presentations. It was something called the Protege Success Plan. Have you heard of that yet? If not, it's another valuable document to help in the mentoring that we are responsible for as our VP of Education. I think the number is 8034 on that one. So it's just something else. I just wanted to spend a little bit of time as I wait for questions. I don't have any questions yet.
The slides are in the chat as well.
Okay, so if anybody's interested, go ahead and you can download those. And John, I think this is a good point too. You can go ahead and put up the poll. Ooh, we didn't put up the poll at the beginning. Do we have a poll for the end?
Yeah, we do have a poll. This is how we verify that you are present. So if you are not able to complete this poll, please put your name and contact info in the chat so we can follow up and make sure you get credit. And
okay, I have a couple of questions. They're both kind of related. The first one comes from Ain. Is it Ain or Amy? Richie. And this is to find the club roster. So perhaps, David, you
Yes.
could share your screen and just go through the process of getting to Club Central and or getting the roster for your clubs.
Yeah, I'm not sure I can show it exactly, but I can explain it. And if you haven't already, please be sure you click on either of these options in the pop quiz. It doesn't matter which one. I mean, hopefully they are all going to be yes, that you are prepared and anxious to get started as a VPE. I see a few people are still terrified. That's okay.
Only about half of the people have responded to the poll. So
yeah, so we're
unless
gonna leave that up, but go ahead and be sure you click on it. It doesn't matter which one, but that shows us that you did attend this session and you were here to the very end. You stuck with us. Thank you very much. Okay, so the question was how to get to the club roster. I will share my screen here and go back. It's going to take me too long, I think, to show it. But the club roster is in Club Central. And as I was mentioning, to get to Club Central now from your home page, you want to be on your home page, scroll all the way down. No, I'm sorry.
Yes, it is homepage.
It is on your homepage, yeah. And there is one that says Club Central, right? Am I right?
Once
Yeah.
you select a homepage, you'll get to another screen. If you scroll down, you'll get to Leadership Central. And then one of the boxes that you can select is Club Central.
Actually, yeah, I can show you the box because I had my Club Central open.
Yeah, John, if you've
already.
got, I didn't have mine up.
Okay, so the club roster is this one. And if you click on it, you can print it or export it as a CSV file for Excel.
John, would you go to home and show us on this new web page how to get to Club Central? So no, home over on the left.
Yeah, this is the home page. Club Central is here in the second group called Leadership Central.
Okay.
And it'll, if you aren't logged in, well, I guess it has to know who you are. And then the roster is here. There's also a thing that's new called the Interactive Club Success Plan. And this is another way to get to distinguished performance reports.
Oh, okay. I guess what I'm trying to say is my point is if you're at the Toastmaster homepage, you get absolutely nowhere. So you have to go up to your name and either choose My Home.
Yes,
So,
that's where you want to start, Brent, is on your homepage.
yeah, well, yeah, I just typically I would go to the web page that Toastmasters brought up, and it used to be you could get there very easy, Leadership Central and Club Central.
And that's where, again, it's changed, but that's what I'm recommending. Start using the homepage. I like it. You know, just scroll to, it will come up when you first log in. And then if you go to Pathways, you come back, you're on the Toastmasters main page, but just scroll, go to My Home, and you're right there. And then again, if you scroll down, you come to Leadership Central, and this one right here, Club Central, click on that. That takes you into Club Central, where then one of the options is to see the roster, which was what John was showing, club roster right here.
Thanks, David.
Sure.
And Brenda has a question about how to help manage everyone's goals. What forms are available in Leadership Central or Club Central to help with that?
Unfortunately, I'm not aware of any actual documents to use that Toastmasters has. If someone knows, let me know. But as I think you just have to do this on your own. It's sit down with the member, talk about it, and document them the best you can, and use a Word document. Maybe you could use an Excel spreadsheet if you like Excel, something like that. And just that way you can jot down some of their goals. And then it is important to check back with them. Once you've documented them, check in with them periodically and see, are they meeting their goals? Is there something you need to do to help them meet their goals?
There's AJ Heron in one of the keynotes mentioned the member interest survey, which I think has been around forever. That's a form you could pass out to the members and possibly get some feedback.
Yes, okay, that is a good point, John, yes. And I'm not sure exactly where you can find that, but often if you're looking for something, you can go again on the Toastmasters website in the search box in the upper right, just type in member interest survey, and hopefully it would find that, and it's a document then that you could download.
Several of us are having an issue responding yes to the poll, the pop quiz.
Okay, I put your contact info in the chat. I have at least one person ready who, let's see, I got information from Stephanie Richards.
How many people did we get in the poll, John? It looks like there's
9.
okay.
There are 15 participants. Possibly 2 are not here for training because they're the trainer and the room monitor, but there should be a lot of interest. Okay, so Jerry thinks he already trained, and David Wang was not able to. And I'll save this chat and forward the relevant portions to Kathy Hughes.
I think, John, there's actually another way they can check in Zoom. They can see how long people have been in. I've heard they've done that in the past.
There is a registration and attendance report.
Right, right.
But
we are almost out of time because we need to get out of here. Am I correct? Yeah,
we got about a minute.
I have green on presently. I can scroll through these rather quickly if we wish.
So if you have any further questions, though, this is my contact information. Feel free to send me this information or any questions you might have to dam92602@gmail.com. John, did you put the survey in?
Good question.
link?
Probably not. I was probably on the poll. Let me find that. Yeah, it will show up in your,
Actually, when they close this section,
yeah, when you close the thing, but let me pop it in the,
So as you're doing
this-
that, I'll say in conclusion, we hope that you enjoyed the session today. Please remember to thank our speaker, David Moore. Yay, David, thank you. Please provide any feedback that you have using the link in chat. I think that's coming up also. And we already did this, but remember to partake in the Zoom poll to receive credit for officer training today. And remember to try to drop into our Pathway Support Group session this afternoon at 3:20. You can visit foundersdistrict.org to register.
something I would add about the Pathways Support Group is that they will actually do one-on-one with a member to complete a level, complete a path, or help a base camp manager approve a level.
All right. In conclusion, I encourage all of you, go out, use these tools and resources and catch some fish. I mean, be a successful vice president of education.
Thank you, David. Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you, David.
Now we gotta
John,
go.
always a pleasure.
Thank you, David.
Bye,
Thank you,
everyone.
David.
Enjoy the rest of the day.
Bye. Make sure I save the chat one more time.
John, do you also need to stop the recording?
When I end the meeting, it will stop.
Okay.